My 30s, this is my 30s. I think that this time is just constant transformation for me. And this time is about growth. It's about growth, and I definitely have grown. I'm telling you. Every day a new size. Well, the last decade has been fast and furious. You know, in my 20s, I was a lot more deer in the headlights and very idealistic, and I think I've found more grounding and balance, and I love being in my 30s. I'm sure I'll love being in my 40s, and I'm gonna love being in my 50s. You just really grow into who you are the longer you get to live. You learn so much.
There's no question, Katy Perry has learned a lot during her nearly 20-year career, which includes 13 Grammy nominations and 3 platinum albums. Today, the 35-year-old pop superstar, American Idol judge, and soon-to-be mom has a soon-to-be-released record, Smile, which comes out August 28th. Smile is the product of Perry's 2.5-year-long emotional journey, and its upbeat message of hopefulness, joy, and love should be just what the doctor ordered for fans struggling through our current COVID-19 crisis.
I didn't know that me going through my darkest time would parallel the dark time that we're in now. I only ever write from my own experience. And that experience was a journey of 2.5 years, trying to find my footing and having to really kind of index my feelings and why they exist so intensely. And I did that, and these songs that came out of that, they really are full of hopefulness, full of resilience, full of joy and love. That's like the prongs of the record, I guess. For me, it was after being on a rocket ship, just going straight up. It was just a small change in the trajectory, and it was like it felt seismic, and it felt, it was a shift. But it was a good shift. It was a necessary shift to get me out of this kind of like desperate pop stardom like loop of, being the best pop star ever. I just really want to be a human being and have the dimension of life and love living in the large and love living in the small. But yeah, it was an emotional journey, and I guess my only hope for the record is it's how I found writing these songs and going through that journey is how I found my smile again, and that's why I call the record Smile. And if anyone has lost their smile, maybe it can, it can help. It's just one of those things where I'm really grateful for coming through that, and hearing the record is always a constant reminder now that I did make it through. And I even wrote that in the liner notes and the thank you notes. It was like, I don't know what the future holds. Every day is a different day, and you have to really work on your wellness. You can't let it just go to the wayside. And I'm just grateful I have kind of a touchstone that reminds me that I did come through.
Another touchstone in Katy's life, her fiancé Orlando Bloom. Minus roughly a year-long break, the couple's been together since early 2016.
It's never-ending evolution, so it's not like peachy keen jelly bean all the time. But it's nice to, show each other all the good, bad, and everything in between, and really fight for our best selves. It's rare to find someone that will go through the mud, and then, especially with the amount of choice that we have these days, and it's easy to swipe right, and it's harder to stay in it. But I think, you hear about the people that stay in it for a long time, and you're like, what's the secret? And it varies, but I think that some of the secret is just staying in it and going like, I don't like you right now, but I will always love you, but I really don't like you. But I know after we push through this cobweb, we're gonna find something better.
Bloom proposed on Valentine's Day 2019, but don't ask Katy about their wedding date.
Well, I tried to do it this year and it poo-pooed on me, so ask me again in another year. I mean, I went through the whole freaking process. Okay. And then, you know, don't know what 21 is gonna be like. Let's hope it's different than 20. And, you know, making not a lot of plans right now, because it seems like every time you make a plan, it switches. And it's really all about going with the flow these days, so we'll see.
Meanwhile, Katy and Orlando will be welcoming their first child together, a daughter, later this summer.
He's gonna be the good cop and I'm gonna be the bad cop. I already know it. And, you know, I'm sure she'll be the #1 most important thing ever, naturally. I mean, if it's any indication how I treat my dog, I mean, she's in for some fun. But I think I love, like, you know, I love being a working mom. I love being pregnant and working. And, you know, I think that there's something really admirable about the idea that you could be so pregnant and you're still showing up, working, doing a great job. Like, okay, you try and do that when you're, you know, in your 3rd trimester. Like, I don't think there's anything negative about it. I think it's like, wow, you can do that and that? Okay, all right. That's a woman, you know? And for me, you know, in the future, I'm sure she'll love music, and I hope, you know, to show her everything, but she's gonna decide her life. I mean, she's gonna be her own person, but she has 2 very ambitious, loud, independent, you know, free-thinking parents. So, like, it's gonna rub off. Or maybe she's going to completely revolt and be, you know, in the corner, very shy, bookworm. Great. We're just here to support her, you know, and I'm sure she's here to just teach us a lesson. I'm just so grateful that, you know, the music is coming, and grateful that I went through whatever I went through to get here, and finding the gratitude in this pain has been a real journey, but it's been great. I mean, the outcome is worth it.
Yeah, gorgeous.
I understand mental health so much more now, and understand, you know, the process that I've had to go through. It's so funny. It's like when you're sleeping, you have a nightmare and you feel all these things and you feel like you're being attacked, or you can't wake up, or you feel like you're crying, and then you wake up and you touch your face and you're like, I'm not crying. I'm not being attacked. How could I have felt that so powerfully? Like, to the point where my body was seizing, you know? That is proof that your mind is so powerful. And I really do believe, like, true magic is the ability to control your own thoughts, because we all have, you know, negative conversations going on in your head, and that can take the wheel, and so you have to take the wheel back, and I definitely did. And that is a lot in part because of the work that I've had to do, and facing some of my past, and finding love for myself and compassion, and you know, not drinking myself into a ditch or you know, being a out of control rock star. Like, I'm definitely a lot more grounded, and now even with a child coming, I feel like that's gonna be even more of an anchor. What I've learned over this period of time is just to, you know, like I said, go with the flow, roll with it. I'm a bit of a control freak, like not in a negative way, but I think this year is not the year for control freaks. I think this year is the loss of certainty and the feeling of having to surrender. And that's what I've learned is surrendering, because it's the only option. And I've learned that I can just chill out. I didn't think I could chill out, but I can chill out. I'm chilling right now.